Can I talk about the thing that I've started this week?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I have started, I said last week that I'd start Fallout.
Yeah.
Now, I've technically started Fallout.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, to my loving arms.
When did you start Fallout, Jett?
About an hour ago.
And how long did you watch Fallout for, Jett?
About like 30 minutes or so. The first episode's like an hour 10. I have a little bit to say though, because you were also watching it with me.
I watched it over your shoulder part of the time for a bit.
So we'll talk about this for a little bit.
We're going to talk about Fallout for a little bit. We're going to talk about half of the first episode of Fallout that we both half watched.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about the real thing that I've started.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Fallout. I think it looks pretty good. My dad was right. He said it's pretty good. I was like, yeah, it's pretty decent. The set design is pretty good.
Yep.
Now I've experienced the world of Fallout somewhat. Have you ever?
If you think about it, metaphorically, we've all experienced a world of Fallout.
Because of those bombs that we dropped.
No, I played the weird mobile game for a bit and that's it.
The weird mobile game?
Yeah, the weird mobile game.
The Fallout Shelter one?
Yeah.
Where you move people around?
Yeah,
I played that as well.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, but it fell into the same trap that all free-to-play mobile games do, which is you can't play the game without paying some money after a certain point.
Yeah.
There's just nothing.
Well, not all free-to-play mobile games are like that.
Oh.
I'm not going to name other yet.
Okay.
But I don't know, just put a pin in that.
Okay, yeah.
So I like that it looks like a set.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
And normally I don't like that, but for this, I think because they're going for that
Domestic 50s vibe.
Yeah. That nuclear family 50s vibe. It all looks like it's been a set that's made for like a convention or something to like promote the game. Like,
such an obscure thought, but yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, like it looks like okay. Recently, Airbnb's been doing this thing with Disney where they'll set up an Airbnb to look like a property that they have.
Yeah.
Recently, they did the mansion for Men 97, which has like the danger room and Professor Xavier's office and like all of the living
a whole
quarters.
Cerebro. They built a whole Cerebro.
They built a whole Cerebro. You can hack into everyone's brains and kill them if you think too hard.
But don't think too hard because it might kill you.
Yeah. Or however that thing works.
Yeah.
And they also recently did Edna Mode's house from The Incredibles.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they've been sending TikTokers there.
That's fun. Yeah, well.
So it felt like that. It felt like I don't know. They're like, here's the Fallout video games in real life that you can come and experience. Mm-hmm. It felt sort of like a theme park, I guess. Like that sort of vibe. Because everything looked like it didn't look real. But it looked like it was artificially made and then like airbrushed and like scrubbed up to make look dirty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It looked fake. It looked fake worn.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that works for it.
I think so. I'm curious to see because that's like so everyone in this world has been living. Almost everyone's been living in vaults for 200 years since a bunch of bombs went off. Right? Everyone's living in nuclear bunkers. Okay, listeners. And so I think that works really well for that. Yeah. However, out in the world where things have been radiated for multiple hundreds of years, I hope it looks scrappier and dirtier and dustier and less like a capitalist built it in the 50s.
But capitalists did build
well,
the
that is
world
as far as the world went, but it's been more, I don't know, I hope it's more fucked up, you know? Just really ruin that thing.
Yeah. I think it has an air of glossiness to it still.
Which like video gamey, so it's kind of... can buy it. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm liking the soundtrack because they basically ripped the soundtrack straight from like Fallout 3 and 4. So I'm like, I remember this game from Fallout. I remember this song from Fallout 4. I enjoyed that. The characters seem all right. They're in like we've seen like I think 2 of the main characters so far. We've seen Walton Goggins' character and we saw the main girl. I haven't seen her in anything yet. And she's living in a Fallout vault and is like, yeah, nobody here wants me. So send me off to this other vault and we can do a marriage trade thing. I want that because, we need to keep the human race running while we're in these vaults. I fooled around with my cousin when I was younger, but that's not sustainable. And literally, like, when she's being traded over, the cousin's the person that's opening the door between the vault. He's like,
oh, it's not working.
Yeah.
I can't open it.
And she's like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm still in love with you. It's like, dude, we're cousins. We can't do this.
do this.
So I think that it's fun that they're leaning into that. How would this weird world, sort of actually practically work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They're leaning into the uncomfortability of it.
Yeah.
And it feels satirical.
Yes.
Obviously.
Big time.
Fallout is. But
Time big.
also, it's a show that's like Microsoft owns Bethesda, who took Fallout from another company. Didn't take it, but basically got that IP and remade the game, made Fallout 3, made it into the thing that we know it to be today. And like the most recent Fallout game is Fallout 76, which was a big sort of cash grab online game that didn't work from, 2019, I want to say, 2018, 2019.
Wait, 76 is in the year before the bombs happened?
No, it's in Vault 76.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the show's been done by Amazon, which is the biggest fucking company in the world. So I feel like there's some cognitive dissonance going on.
I'm trying to think about ludonarrative dissonance, but
that one.
Some tele-reality dissonance.
Tele-narrative dissonance?
Yeah, no, because it's not narrative. It's like I'm trying to describe the clash between like what's happening on
metatarsal dissonance.
Yeah, my toes are going sideways.
Trademarked by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Because there's meta in it. You have to give him props for coming up with that name that no one's ever heard of
No one's
before.
ever heard or used that word before.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's making me a little
interesting.
uncomfortable.
Yes. It doesn't excuse it, but I feel like we've had a lot of things like that. It's like, what if capitalism bad? And then you're like,
capitalism
dude,
made
you're
this.
Disney.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah. You hear that Pixar's doing they came out and said, hey, we're not doing we don't want to be doing films based on directors' personal history or their personal, I don't know, the things that they've gone through, the narratives that they want to tell. We want to focus on making good IP, which is sequels. So they called out Red, which is Turning Red. One of the best Pixar films I've seen in years. Great. And they also called out Luca as well. I'm like, those are great
are some of the better ones you've made recently.
And so what are you doing? Pixar's been like the nice version of the part of Disney.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't really have a whole lot to say about Fallout. I
haven't really seen any of it.
No, we haven't.
It's exactly what I expected, but good.
I think I expected it to be what it is, but worse on every level.
Yeah.
Like if it's an 8 at every level, I thought it would be like a 6 or a 5.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But everything is working a bit better than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it all to fall apart at the end. Or not. Who knows? Video game adaptations are good now, maybe.
Could go out with a bang.
It started with bang.
What'd you think of the bang?
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
It's like audiences are so kind of almost like inoculated against nuclear explosions or devastation. Like we see it and it's amazing what we can normalize and rationalize in our heads. And I feel like there was enough slowness and silence to like give it some impact still. Also, we watched it on a laptop, and I was like, this is still working for me. I'm still scared of that big wall of fire or whatever. So, yeah.
3 of us were hovering around this laptop.
There was always one person watching it.
Yeah, there was always
but never more than 2.
No, I was making breakfast. I was the person who watched it the least.
Yeah.
Because I was like, shit, we need to record podcast, and I need to watch this episode, and I need to make breakfast. But we were just all hovering around the dining table where there was a laptop playing Fallout. Right.
Just running a speed run of Fallout 4. Yeah.
I think Fallout. Should you start it? I'm happy that I started it. I also got my mate with a peg leg and an eye patch to get it for me. Once again, do that. Don't and I feel like it's in the vein of fuck capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going anti-Fallout by pirating this.
You're going
but not me though. My friend though.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought of another thing. Just an idea.
Jet.exe has rebooted.
The thought that I had yesterday, which is stealing is good.
Oh, here we go. Is this an extension of piracy is good?
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard this one. Yawn, you tell the listeners that joke I did earlier.
What?
Go.
What was the joke you did earlier?
Yawn, you tell the listeners. It was something that I already knew.
Oh.
Cafe game.
You just said it all in one.
Yawn, you tell the listeners. That's
Yeah.
the joke. That's why doesn't matter.
You tell me why I think piracy is good.
I forget.
Fine. What do you mean? I did a whole presentation on it back in 2017.
It's because it increases demand for it because more people get exposed to it than would if they all had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Yeah. That's one of the
yeah.
big things. Some people can't afford to buy TV and movies, and sometimes it's not released in certain regions.
That one's especially frustrating.
So piracy allows more people to watch it, and actually they will talk about it to their friends because they're more invested.
And their friends will also not pay for it. Yay.
No, their friends more than likely will, it's way more likely that they'll pay for it. And then also, it reduces cost of things. It keeps in the capitalist structure in which we live, it's a way to limit just price gouging. Because you can't make things cost an exorbitant amount and expect people to pay for it.
Right.
So if you can also get it for free, but you have to put in
some effort
to and risk to get it. The streaming services, the networks, whatever it may be, will be like,
puts a limit on what they can charge because at some point the value proposition will just be, it's like no one was going to pay for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it keeps things convenient and is good for consumers.
Sorry, I'm just gonna pop into your cupboard and steal like a box of games because piracy is good because it'll get you exposure.
No, that's not what I'm. Yeah, I am saying stealing is good on this podcast. It's fine. I'm gonna continue.
Stealing from big companies is different.
Yes, for sure. And I think
wait till you're a big company. I'm gonna steal so many games.
You know what? If someone needs to steal, if someone's like, if I am price gouging, and I can tell you right now, I very much have I made a profit on these games that I've gotten made? Well, who's to say? Am I close? Well, who's to say? But I think that stealing is the same as piracy.
Okay. Oh yeah.
In the way that, like, if a supermarket starts charging an exorbitant amount for apples, people are going to be like, well, actually, I eat apples, and you've made me. Apples isn't a great example. Let's say chocolate, right? Chocolate, they have it at the cash registers of all supermarkets. Sure. And there's a reason for that. It's like you go and you're finishing up your shopping and you're like, I guess
deserve a little treat.
I deserve a little treat. Because chocolate's addictive. The sugar's addictive. The thing is, when you get someone addicted to something, they'll keep wanting it. Yeah. But then if you start upping prices, then some people might be like, I've got my groceries, but I don't have enough to spend on this chocolate. Yeah. I'll just chuck it in my pocket, I guess, because they've made it cost. It used to be like $1, now it's $5. Yeah. So stealing, and then the supermarkets will realize, shit, people are stealing this. Yeah. We should maybe drop our prices. Or what they'll probably do is like, cameras. Let's make our prices more so that the people who are paying for it will pay more. But then which,
when you think about it, is a kind of like wealth distribution. Like the people who can, and it's not that simple because some people can't afford to pay and also don't have the capacity to steal when they need to. Yeah. So I acknowledge that. But kind of in a macro sense, it's like, well, the people who can afford to pay through the nose because they make $300,000 a year subsidize the people who can't put food on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, we snuck socialism in. It's just stealing.
Yeah.
Steal when you need. So. From each according to his capacity to each according to his needs. That one.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever that is. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. I'm just saying stealing is basically piracy. It also, if you're eating a Crunchy bar, you're going to be talking about that Crunchy bar to other people. And like, if someone's like, hey, what's your favorite chocolate? You'll be like, Crunchy. And they might go and buy one. So stealing doesn't necessarily mean you're losing sales. You know?
Yeah.
It's free advertising.
There's a difference between...
That's why people give things away for free.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a difference between piracy and theft of physical products in the sense that you pirate something once and you...
have it forever?
Like it's kind of infinite. You know, like a physical product is like you have to... Yeah. Like if I steal a block of chocolate, I got one block of chocolate. And then if I tell you about how good it is and you go to either buy it or steal it, you get one block of chocolate. Whereas if someone like pirates a movie, anyone can have it. Do you think there's a difference there?
Because it's duplicatable.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to counter that with the fact that...
I don't know what I'm saying.
I think I'm just going to counter it with the opposite. Yeah. Which is streaming services and video game companies are taking things offline.
Yeah.
They're like, actually, this doesn't exist anymore. You can't get it anywhere. Oh, this game that you paid $60 for like 4 years ago, we're shutting the
gone.
servers down. So if that's allowed, then people should be able to steal the things that are duplicatable.
Yeah.
That's my ethos. That's my pathos. That's my authos. Is there a third one?
Probably. Hang on. Ethos, pathos, and sympathos. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We learned it in like year 9 English, probably.